Ever since the dawn of time, the Bidjigal tribe has been using the rising sun over Jervis or Corroboree Bay to welcome in the new day and perform their dance ceremonies. One of the tribes that make up the Darawal language group, Bidjigal, tour Australia, sharing the history and culture of their people. But if you're in Jervis Bay, you might just catch them at Vincentia Beach at daybreak.
About storytelling, telling about how the animals move out in the bush away. A hunter would travel out tracking after the particular animals, and that's what the stories are more or less telling when we do our corroborees.
Dance performances as well as boomerang throwing lessons can be booked through Laddie Timbery at the Lady Denman Museum in Huskisson Beach. Laddie, your family's got a lot of history in this area, don't you?
We've got a lot of history, baby, holy mackerel. My mum and brothers, they were born just across the creek there over 70 years ago. Both my great-grandfathers used to camp both sides of the creek here.
While you're here, take in a bush tour with one of the clan. You'll come home armed with some medicinal know-how that's been used for thousands of years.
Take it up and that root system then is then crushed, and there is a small lining of milk or sap running through the centre, and that's simply rubbed over the skin, and that's a mosquito repellent. Also for bull ant bites or stings, we can use that for that fern as well.
The Timbery family shares their space with the Lady Denman Museum, so called because of this lady, built here in 1911. She was used as a Sydney ferry until '79, when she was destined for the scrap heap. But the locals would hear none of that.
It was quite a long saga. There was a problem with her shipworthiness, and in the end, a party of local fishermen actually stole her from the harbour.
The pronunciation of Jervis Bay has always been controversial. Well, just for the record, officially it is now Jervis, not Jervis Bay. Now we've got that sorted out.
The complex in Dent Street houses the museum, the Aboriginal artefact shop and tour booking.
Hi, my name's Jeff Timbery. I'd like to share the instrument didgeridoo with you and explain a little bit about how it's given me opportunities to travel internationally and also nationally around Australia. With the instrument,
the family travel around sharing family's culture, Aboriginal culture, putting on corroborees, dance, storytelling, and also we have times when we've had people involved with us making our crafts as well. Internationally, we've had opportunities to perform at South Korea, Canada, China, where we've been playing didgeridoo. Also in China, we've been playing with symphony orchestras. Canada, we've had rock bands that we've performed with. So the instrument has been to us beneficial, not only has it been for cultural purposes, but also we've been able to share it with the wider community, be it through bands as well, through our performances. With the didgeridoo, when we've been travelling around performing with it, it's always been about mimicking animal sounds, animal actions, when we've been sharing our dancing with people. When we've been involved performing with bands, it's more contemporary styles or sounds in which we're producing. Also with the instrument, it's about, be it the animal sounds and actions, and they're all done the same way. It's basically using your voice. So when we're playing the instrument, we're always blowing what we call raspberries, so your lips are doing this action up. And that's how we get that basic sound. Then I'll be using my voice then the same way as I'm speaking. So as I'm playing, I'll be going. And that's how we get this sound. And that's where I'll be using my voice then to make the sounds when we'll be mimicking the animal sounds or the animal actions. Then also it's moving your cheeks and your lips, and that's where your cheeks are involved, that's being what we call our reservoir or our air bags. That's what's holding the air as we're breathing in through our nose. So we're doing these actions, our cheeks are raised out as we blow out. That's when we breathe into our nose. So that's what we call circular breathing, and we're basically doing that, what we call the circular breathing. That's how we continue playing the instrument. So using your cheeks as an airbag, and also you're using your diaphragm to help you breathe the air in. So you just want to relax when you play the instrument. You don't have to breathe very hard at all. You just want to relax, and that's what the instrument's all about when you're playing. When selecting your didgeridoo, there's a couple of things you might have in mind. One of the things you're going to find is that all didgeridoos will have their own sizes and shapes. What I mean by that is that we're going to have different lengths didgeridoos. Some you might find are a bit longer, be it also a bit wider inside, so the size of the hole that runs up through the centre of the instrument. Mallee gum is the sort of timber that we use mainly in southeastern Australia, find New South Wales, Victoria, and these are the particular timbers that these ones are made from. With the mallee, naturally eaten out by the white ants or the termites, eat up through the timber. And so we're going to find that because they're naturally eaten out or naturally hollowed out, each one is going to have their own sound as well, depending on how wide the hole is through the middle. For instance, we play the shorter one. Also with our different size didgeridoos, we're going to find that they're going to have different tones as well, depending on the length of them. So when selecting your didgeridoo, mainly you want to look for one that you find comfortable playing yourself. So some people like larger ones, which might take a little bit more air, and also they have a bit more deeper tone to them. Shorter instruments, you can find that they can be played a lot quicker. So you find that each player will find their own instrument that they feel comfortable playing. So the best way is for you to go out there and try a couple of different didgeridoos and find the one that best suits you or that you're most comfortable with. Once you've selected your didgeridoo, then the next step is learning to play it. As we mentioned, blowing raspberries, our lips are doing that action. So whether it be us driving around in the car or walking down to the shopping centre, we can walk along practicing our raspberries, that action. And what we need to do when we're at our instrument is we project our lips forward, like puckering up action. Our lips are inside the instrument, then we do that raspberries action. So we're always keeping that action, that droning. Then we're using our voice then to make the animal sounds, the same way as we're speaking. So we're doing that, the raspberries, and then your voice is being the background sound. So it'll be that. And that would be the action we'd be doing if we were trying to mimic a dingo. Now we're starting to learn to make our sounds. Now our next thing is to be able to get our circular breathing. Now circular breathing is a word that we use for the technique of playing the instrument, the didgeridoo. What we're doing, we're using our cheeks as an airbag. One of the best ways for us to practice it is with a mouthful of water, squirting that out with our cheeks, and then breathing in through our nose. And that's how we're getting that breathing technique. Another way is playing on the instrument. What we want to do is be able to take a deep breath, and remember, always relax when we're playing our instrument. Once we've taken our deep breath, what we're doing there is basically topping our lungs up. We're not trying to fill our lungs up again. As soon as we start playing, we want to breathe straight away. So just relaxing, deep breath. Always remember to relax and also keeping our cheeks puffed out. That's what our reservoir is, that will hold that air for us while we're taking those short breaths, so in through the nose. So we're doing that action. What we call circular breathing. Then also as we learn to use our voice, our vocal cords, then we can have that involved making our animal sounds. Always remember to keep in our lips that, keeping those raspberries, that action going. Not only can we learn our circular breathing technique using the didgeridoo, but there's also another way in which we can involve a hose. Short garden hose is all that you need, and a bucket of water so we can actually see the actions that we should be doing. And as we're remembering, keeping our cheeks puffed out to blow the air in and breathing in through our nose. So we're doing that. So that's one way in which we can still see or tell how our circular breathing technique is going. Also, we have some pressure then exists on the hose for us to learn to use our cheeks to send the air down the pipe as well for us while we're learning. One of the main things is when we're learning our circular breathing and playing our didgeridoo is finding somewhere where we're comfortable. Most people like to perform at home. I've heard of people getting the circular breathing techniques while they've been sitting at home and be watching the sports on